I'm sure it's in the back of a lot of people's minds, but the new album is called Give Blood. And what will happen on September 11th and everything, is that any connection at all?
Not at all.
No?
The album was named 6 months before that happened. It's just a big coincidence. The whole thing is a coincidence.
The layout was shipped out in August, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before anything had happened.
And it hit, and we were like, people are gonna think we were trying to be topical, people were gonna think we did this on purpose.
Yeah.
And we really didn't.
Alright, so you just toured with AF with Agnostic Front. How'd that go?
Great.
Yeah? But you guys had some crazy shows down in Florida though, huh?
We did have a couple shows that were scary as hell, kind of violent, and there were people there that we're not used to playing to, and a lot of skinheads and a lot of people that just don't get our brand of hardcore, you know?
Yeah.
So it was kind of an eye-opening experience.
It's weird. A lot of the kids thought, a lot of kids think that moshing is punching everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of fighting almost. But
So
we had to do something, you know. I mean, it's just a part of that tour.
Right.
For every bad experience on that tour, there were 5 great experiences.
That's awesome.
For every shitty thing that happened, there were days where you're just like, I'm so glad to be on this tour. We got to hang out with the coolest dudes that have been doing this for 20 years, and they really taught us like the ropes, you know?
They were still cool, dude.
Yeah, they're really cool guys.
Awesome.
Funny anecdote about that. We were talking to Vinny Stigma last Tuesday in Burlington, Vermont. And, you know, he said, like, how'd you guys know about the bad shows in Florida? Like, you know, well, we read the online journals. Like, that fucking guy keeps a diary. Fucking diary. I don't want anyone writing my name in a diary unless it's a fucking girl. He's so nice. He's so fucking down to earth and great. Vinny Stigma was seriously the nicest guy ever. He's so fucking cool.
We were totally intimidated by them the first couple of days.
Yeah.
By like day 3, we just felt like family. Like
I know.
they went out of their way to make us realize that anything that was theirs was ours. That we were totally welcome in their band room and on their van. And,
Yeah.
You know, we use their equipment. We just
That's awesome.
fucking dudes ever.
Yeah.
And we got to play to a lot of cool kids too. It wasn't all just skinheads.
Oh, yeah,
people that
yeah.
wanted to fight. Like we got to play to a lot of kids that would have never opened their eyes to me.
Yeah.
Thanks to AF and Kill Your Idols.
Right.
It's a good experience.
Yeah.
I'm sad that it's over. I miss those guys.
Yeah. I'm sure this tour's gonna do a lot of good things for you guys too, though. Like over the years, over the different tours, you hit, you know, spots over and over again.
Sure.
What is the response like? I know you said every time you go to Atlanta, it's just off the wall. Like, like what is it now that you go to new places and like everyone knows you now? You're not opening up anymore, you know? Well, for Agnostic Front you were, but whatever.
Still amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
Still always, last night we played in Quebec City, there was maybe 250 kids there, and we're still like, there's so many kids outside.
Yeah.
Like, we're not used to it yet. At home,
Yeah.
we know
Yeah.
a lot of kids are gonna come, and we have some degree of confidence,
Yeah.
but every time I roll up to a show at the Palladium, which is down the street from my house,
Yeah.
and see a line of cars, the parking lots are full, the kids are everywhere, I still feel like I can't believe it.
Seeing you guys at the Palladium was freaking wild.
I still wait. I'm still scared every time that we go. Like waiting for, like maybe you know, kids. Maybe it'll just be the passing fad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still afraid every time we roll to a show that. You know.
It's funny, like, I was talking to a lot of kids in Montreal, and friends with a bunch of them, and they're all talking about the last time you guys played there, I guess like 2 years ago. They're all like saying how this is going to be the biggest show of the year, and I guess they're all like wearing the same thing that they wore to the last show to this one.
Serious?
Yeah.
It's like a football player wearing his dirty underwear.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
There's on the message board, there's a big thing about like everyone wear the same thing you wore to the last band show.
This kid came up to me who had the sweatshirt on last time, and I commented on it, and he came up to me, and I said the same thing today. I haven't changed a bit on my style. He's like, he walked up to me, I was like, that's my sweatshirt. It's like I wore it 2 years ago, and that's what you said to me 2 years ago.
And there are still some towns in America that we haven't won over yet. Like we're playing Pittsburgh on this tour, and we've never played to more than 50 or 60 kids in Pittsburgh. There are still some towns that like we've yet to get the kids to like totally embrace us, which is good for us. Like we thrive on a challenge like that, you know. I don't ever want that not to be a part of the excitement, not knowing how many kids are going to be there. Like, I can't imagine what it would be like to be Boyce's Fire, Snapcase, just to have it be 500 kids every night. You never have to worry. You're never like pushed to like totally blow kids' minds. You know, that was part of the fun of the AF thing. Was some of those crowds were real hostile, and we had to get up there and like insist that they give us respect.
Best shows, there were 20 kids that knew who we were. A lot of hardcore kids didn't come out to that tour, so it was a more expensive tour. It was in weirder, clubs that shows usually don't happen.
Bigger clubs.
And so, I mean, the best show there was 20 hardcore kids, and then we were in many shows where there was only 3 kids, and they didn't really dance because
It's awkward.
Definitely.
Yeah, you know.
Drive on that shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Totally
there
don't
were some
want to
shows where 500, 600 kids, 20 hardcore kids there. Everybody else had no clue who Bane was. We had to, show
Right.
them.
That gives you a chance to open up to a different kind of audience.
Yeah,
too.
that's the whole.
Totally.
What's up, Olivia?
Hi.
That's
So-
Olivia.
Yeah.
Hello.
Here comes Sweet Fred. Sweet Fred! Alright, what advice would you want to give to someone who's just starting out in a hardcore band?
Like me.
Like Fred, for
My
instance.
best advice.
Beat everyone up that don't like you.
My best advice is to look at American Nightmare, a band that just blew up.
Right.
And I believe in my heart that the reason that they blew up, and they're over there in Europe right now and doing fucking amazing every night.
I love them.
I think the
So
reason
good.
that they do so good is every time they get on stage, every time Wes grabs the mic, he doesn't care if there's 500 kids or 20 kids, they pour their heart out onto that stage and give it everything that they have. And you have to do it. You can't let the crowd affect how you're going to relate to your songs in front of the crowds. I think that's what's stood us so well since our first tour, is that when we played, we didn't worry about were kids dancing, were kids singing along. Like, that wasn't what it was about. We were just going to bleed for that music. And I think kids just respond to that. They just feel that you're being totally honest and totally passionate with yourselves, and that's how they connect with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I talk to kids all the time, like, how did American Nightmare do it? You know, like, how did they get so big so fast? Obviously, the music is great. The lyrics are the best things ever. But the thing that'll really vault a band is just to fucking blow kids away live.
Definitely.
They have to walk out of that club and not be like, who was that band we saw yesterday? I can't remember their name. You want to make sure that they don't fucking forget you. Like, that's the best advice I have to a
Just
young
like
band.
in my eyes, like 2 years ago, I think they would come up to Montreal, and we were like 34 with every roadies and everyone that came with the bands, and that was the best show ever. It was just like, whoa, amazing. We were like, when 34, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, the same thing. First time I saw you guys was at, like, Comedy Club in Boston, and like that was what got me. Like, I never even heard you guys before, and then like kids went fucking off, and you guys were nuts. That's definitely what got me.
I mean, those are the nights where it's easy. The nights where it's hard is when you're playing on the floor through a shitty PA.
Reflections?
16 kids standing on the other side of the room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, on our first tour, one of my favorite Bane shows of all time was in San Diego, California in '98. Never been out there before. Nobody knew us. We played on the floor to 12 kids that just stood in a line right in front of us.
All right. Okay.
We just lost our minds. We played like a totally emotional, energetic, ferocious set to 15 kids. You know what I'm saying? And the next time we went back there, it was like 200 kids that knew us, because kids will talk. They'll be like, "I saw this band last night that fucking blew me away." I think that's the most important advice I can give to a band. Other than not worrying too much about sounding like this band or that band. Just do what feels honest, do what feels natural.
And speaking of that, like, what new bands are doing that? Like, are there any like new up and coming bands that fans should check out?
We played with a band the other night called The Suicide File back in Boston. Has one of the guys from Hope Conspiracy Garage, has Jared, the old Death by Stereo drummer. They were real good. They were really unique sounding. They weren't your typical, fast mosh.
Yeah.
Just rocking, spirited hardcore. They're definitely a band to look out for. As far as like original sounding bands in the hardcore scene, not too many. Death by Stereo, they're not new anymore, but I think they're doing something totally honest. Not too many.
All set.
Anything else?
Cool.
Well, thank you very much. Is there
thank you.
anything else you want to add?
Nope,
Please
thank
do.
you.
Don't stand on the ground and get Roy.